The district that you're running in,
Hmm.
you're running in the 3rd district, correct?
Right.
And that includes Las Vegas.
Yeah, Las Vegas is more the southern portion, but Las Vegas, Henderson, and Summerlin.
Okay, so you're on the southern side of Nevada, and I just know that in the entire region over there, one of the major issues in that entire region is illegal immigration.
Mhm.
Where do you stand? What type of path to citizenship, if any? Where do you fall in terms of immigration?
Well, I think we need to provide, obviously, a path to citizenship. I think we have, last estimates, and I think this was done just a few years ago, so the numbers, I'm sure, have increased. We have 11 million undocumented citizens in this country. So, well, that's a problem. We need to start bringing them out of the shadows and make them what they want to be, and that's Americans. They came here to partake in the American dream. They wanted their chance to provide a better future for their family. My wife, she's a first generation Mexican American, and her family came here because they wanted to provide a better life for her. They wanted her to have the opportunity to achieve great things. And had we, they've had to, somewhat live in the shadows of that, and while she's been able to prosper, she'll be a nurse in 2 years. That is the type of I'm not just saying this because she's my wife, but that's the type of citizen that we should encourage to come here, someone who wants to make their life better. So I do believe that we need to provide a path to citizenship, and I'm not going to put a barrier on that in terms of saying, well, we need to secure the border, we need to put troops on that. That's silly. It's irresponsible.
What about then? What is the general sentiment of your area, though? Because you guys are like in the hotbed, like you're not on the southern border, but you probably get quite a bit of undocumented workers. You got
Sure.
it affects the security, and so if someone is hearing you, and it sounds as though you don't feel as concerned about it. How do you? What do you say then about all of the potential violence, the potential, and I'm asking this potentially intentionally.
Sure.
But like, there's a flip side to this. How do you speak to the people that are afraid of legal immigration issue?
What I would say is over 30% of our population here in Las Vegas comes from immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a low number. I would certainly suspect it's a little bit higher. When you can't reach people, you can't reach people. Mm-hmm. And I would say, these folks, they're already living here. They're already working. They're already a part of the community. Their kids go to your kids' school. Mm-hmm. They're driving on the roads that you drive. They're working at the grocery store that you buy your groceries from and you fill your gas at. And they work at the casinos. They're a part of our society. And to be afraid, no one's taking your job. No one is, ripping you off. These folks, they're paying taxes. Something that's lost a lot in this issue is that, when they say, oh, they're not contributing, they're paying taxes. And so, some of them even pay the income tax. They take it out when they're working for an employer. They have it taken out because they don't want that issue. They don't want to have to be indebted to the IRS if when they become citizens. They're paying sales tax. They're paying a gas tax. They're already living in our community. And I think that we need to do a better job of certainly informing the general public of that. But there has to be an understanding that, they're a part of our society and they're not trying to, redo American culture. They're not trying to do anything. They're not trying to, someone from Mexico is not trying to make us have, a Mexican culture. They're living within our culture. They're American in every way, but on paper. And,
I like that.
Needs to be.
I like that. You made a really great point. And that's exactly why I asked, because you're in the region where this is a living, tangible reality, right? I'm in Massachusetts. So if there's a large illegal immigration population here, I've never seen it. But in your location, you're only so many hours from the southern border. So of course you're going to have quite a bit there. And I like the way that you've actually cast it. And I don't quite think I've heard it that way before, that why be afraid when they are already here? They are already your neighbors. They are already going to school with you. Their children are going to school with you. Some of them are driving on the street. Like, they're not, it's not this twisty mustache villains coming across the border next week if we don't shut it down.
Right.
they're already here. And so
Right.
if you're safe and secure today, your neighbor could very well be an illegal immigrant. Why are you allowing an entire party to make you afraid of them when they're already your neighbor? I think that's a brilliant way that you put it there.
And I would like to make one other point about it. You know, and this is probably more specific, but you know, you think about it. Well, if someone's here illegally, let's say, you know, and they're driving a car and you get into a car accident. Well, a lot of times what happens is they drive off. They're scared. They don't have insurance. They don't have a life. So why wouldn't you? It would make everybody safer, you know, to make sure that they're a part of the society, that if a mistake happens, they don't have to run. They don't have to, you know, drain police resources because someone calls in and says, oh, I think an illegal immigrant ran and he hit and run and he ran. No, he would stay because he'd have insurance, he'd have a license, he'd have money. Why not just, again, integrate and understand that they're here? So,
okay. So I have two more questions for you, Alex, and then I'll let you get back to your campaigning and all the stuff that you have to do. Let me ask you this then. In terms of actually stopping the problem of illegal immigration, what do you feel is the solution to that, short of building a wall and making a gate with, you know, Trump Tower symbol on it? How do we fix the problem?
Well, I mean, I quite frankly, I mean, studies have shown that the problem has kind of fixed it. We've had, you know, neutral immigration coming to America. And so so if we want to further fix it, which again, it mostly has in itself, partially with the struggling economy, but what we need to do with that is have a better visa process. So if workers, you know, if people want to come to this country, we need to have a better streamlined process. You know, sometimes people wait 2-3 years to come here. And, you know, if your family is struggling and, you know, with some of these, you know, in Mexico, the economy is not good, you know, violence is high. Well, they want to be able to work and come here, get a job, send money back, work in a job that will make their family safer. Why not encourage that? Why not make sure that, you know, we want to talk about family values. That is family values. Sacrificing your liberty, your family, your freedom, to come here just to try and work. So we need to do a better job of reforming our visa process, making it more streamlined, make sure that we don't have backups of 2 or 3 years. And I'd like to say that, you know, that is what Republicans do. They break the system, they break these programs, and then they say, see, it doesn't work. You know, and when it comes to the visa program, they underfund it. And so that they can come up and say, yeah, we need to reform the whole thing. And yeah, while we're at it, let's not let anybody in because, well, they're not white, they're not, you know, Christian. So let's just, you know, no reason for them to come here.
Good segue there. I actually have 2 more questions. I lied. I had 3. I thought it was 2.
Hey, I'm here. We're fine.
Okay. So you are in Las Vegas.